making of the wine starts with the harvest, normally early September for us in the Sierra foothills. The grapes have been determined to be at the right sugar level, the flavors are there, and the winemaker has decided that it's time to pick the grapes. We pick at night because during the day it could be 95-degree temperature, and the yellow jackets, you're literally covered in sugar. So it's very, very uncomfortable. It's hot, it's sweaty, and so that's the reason. At night it's like 60 degrees, it's beautiful. The guys are wearing shirts and they don't have to worry about the bugs. The other reason is we ship a lot of grapes to other wineries that have to crush the grapes. The grapes have to be crushed the same day. The sooner the better after you pick them. And so if we're gonna crush at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock today, these grapes, or we ship them to another customer and they like to get them fresh. What we have here is two people making sure that nothing gets in that bin that shouldn't be in there to make wine. Like they pick out any leaves, any bugs, anything that looks like it's not going to be good for the wine. That is a very, very important step. And that's why we get quality grapes. That's why we make good wine. Now this is what is called the crushing destemming stage. This is a half-ton bin, basically 1,000 pounds. They're going into the hopper of the crusher destemmer, and this machine actually takes the stem off and slightly crushes the grape, and then this pump takes the must and pumps it into the tank. At this stage, the grapes are still at about 55, 60 degrees because we just picked them a couple hours ago. Those tanks are cooled to make sure that the fermentation doesn't start. Sanitation is very important because this bin is going to get used probably tonight to put grapes in, so you want that bin to be clean. Grapes go into the tank, and now there's about a week-long fermentation process. We add yeast, and then 3 times a day during that week we actually punch down to mix up the grapes. The sugar levels drop as the grapes ferment and the alcohol rises. When the sugar levels are down to 0, you end up with a dry wine. We're going to now press the grapes. The first thing they do is they try and get the juice out. Now this is the must. This is about a week later from the punch down. He's got a sieve at the end of this tube, and he's trying to suck out as much juice as possible directly bypass the pump, so you don't have to put all that juice in the pump. At the end of this thing, there's like a sieve. But now they can't get any more juice out of it. Now they got to go press it. They load up the press. This is a 2-ton press, so this press will take up to 2 tons at the shot. We've pressed 90 tons by it. The way this works is the press actually a balloon inside, and it pushes against a sieve, and the juice comes out, and then it deflates the balloon, turns over every 15 minutes or so, and again inflates the balloon, pushes against the sieve. So as it turns, it mixes up the must and presses again, mixes up the must and presses again, and after an hour and a half you get most of the juice out. This is wine. There's no sugar left, no sweetness left to it. It's wine. It's actually 14-15% alcohol, but it has not aged. And the reason we don't go directly to barrels right away, but we go to a tank like this, is we settle it in the tank for a couple of days, let it sit, and the sediment will settle. And then we pump from the top. We don't suck in the sediment. Barrels are steamed. You make sure they're sterile. These are older barrels, but anything that has had wine in it, to make sure they're sterile before you put the new wine in there, they're steamed. And steam is the best way. On a vintage like this year was 200 barrels or 200 some barrels, about $62,000 worth of new barrels. So about a third of the barrels every year that we use are brand new. A third are about a year or 2 years old, and a third are older. And barrels actually add not only oak, not only do they age the wine, but they also add all kinds of spices, depending on the barrels, they'll add flavors to the wine. A lot of the flavors you get in the wine are actually from the barrels. So barreling is a big deal. Barreling to a winemaker is a lot like spices and fresh ingredients to a chef. So come to Naggiar Vineyards and enjoy a glass of one of our premium wines made from some of our best grapes. And as they say in Italian, salute from our family to yours.
Hello everybody, I'm Lee Kinnard. Welcome to Kinnard Farms. For 5 generations, my family has proudly called this region of northeast Wisconsin home. Nearly 70 years ago, our parents, Alvin and Millie Kinnard, had a dream to start their own dairy farm. They started with 14 cows and 80 acres, using money borrowed from their parents. The next generation has continued this family tradition of caring for the land and producing high-quality milk. The Kinnard family's progressive approach to dairy farming has built a business that will last for generations. When it was time to modernize and build a new barn, years of research went into making sure the most innovative technology provided the cows with a comfortable place to rest, fresh food and water, and shelter from the temperature extremes. This is important not only for our girls, but also for the dedicated team of professionals who care for them around the clock. One of the highlights of the new barn is the carousel parlor, which holds 100 cows at a time. The carousel makes a full rotation every 8 minutes, with a new cow stepping onto the platform to be milked every 5 seconds. At this speed, 725 cows will be milked within an hour. The process continues 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, with the only interruption being 3 45-minute shutdowns daily to thoroughly sanitize the entire system. The speed and efficiency of this milking process is very important to ensuring that our girls can spend the vast majority of their day lounging in their climate-controlled freestall barn. Our family chooses to milk our cows 3 times per day to maximize milk quality and cow comfort. Each cow steps onto the parlor and comfortably rides the merry-go-round for 1 rotation. Our girls very much look forward to the ride and enjoy the entire process. The cows often retrieve their food or their cud, while on the carousel, which is a sign of a very content and comfortable cow. The first step of the milking process is physically checking the cow for milk quality. This is done to ensure that only the highest quality of milk is produced. Next, 2 additional milking technicians disinfect the cow's udder and prepare her for the attachment of the milking machine. A 4th technician attaches the unit to the now prepped and sanitized cow udder. Once the milking machine is attached to the cow, the milk begins to flow through a pipeline. As the milk flow slows down, a computer sensor signals to the machine that it is time for the milking unit to be automatically detached from the cow's udder. This detachment can happen at any time throughout the rotation of the carousel. The milking unit is then sanitized and prepped for the next cow. A 5th milking technician does a last visual check of the cow to ensure that she has been thoroughly milked and applies a disinfectant to the cow's teats. Within a minute and a half of leaving the cow, the milk is flash cooled to 34 degrees Fahrenheit. The cooled milk then makes its way into one of the 6 waiting milk tanker trucks. The technology we are using on our farm to cool our milk helps to guarantee that a safe and wholesome product leaves the farm. Because of this care and attention to detail, Kinnard Farms is able to produce the award-winning, high-quality milk that our family has become known for. Cow comfort is important to us because it leads to high-quality, wholesome milk. The barns at Kinnard Farms are called freestall barns because our girls are allowed to eat, drink, and socialize at their leisure. The average cow lies down 14 hours per day. That's why it was important to build this new barn with extra roomy stalls that make it easy for our girls to relax. Our girls lie on recycled sand bedding cleaned right here on the farm in an extremely innovative, sustainable, and environmentally friendly process. Research has shown that sand bedding is not only the most comfortable and the cleanest for the cows, it also helps us to produce the highest quality milk. Our cows are fed a diet developed by a dairy nutritionist. The cow's feed, which is grown by our very own outdoor team, includes alfalfa, corn silage, and triticale, which is a grass that is a cross between wheat and rye. A cow has a stomach with 4 compartments that allows her to convert these crops very efficiently into milk. The silage is blended with other crops, vitamins, and minerals that round out the cow's diets, with over 70% of our girls' grocery needs being met with crops that have been raised on our own farm. The Kinnard Farms feeding team prepares and delivers specially formulated recipes for every animal on the farm daily. Fresh feed is available to our girls around the clock. Newborn calves are the future of Kinnard Farms. The birthing process of the mother cow is closely monitored 24 hours a day, even on holidays. Calves grow up to become the cows that produce milk, so we make it a priority to get them off to a healthy start. As soon as the calf is born, she receives her mother's colostrum, the first milk the cow produces that is rich in antibodies. The calf is then cared for in a deep straw bed. They also receive vaccines to boost their immune system. In 2 years, these calves will be part of the milking herd. The calves are raised off-site at a farm that specializes in calf raising. The ideal temperature range for dairy cows is between 25 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Like other mammals, cows are warm-blooded and need to maintain a constant core body temperature. At Kinnard Farms, our cows are in a constant controlled environment called a cross-ventilated freestall barn. Fans, controlled by computers, vary their speed to adjust to both hot and cold outside temperatures. In our new barn, recycled water flows down a weeping water wall while air is pulled through it, almost like an air conditioner. When it's hot outside, this innovative technology cools the barn 20 degrees below the outside temperature to make each and every cow comfortable. When the temperature is 20 degrees below zero, the temperature in the barn can be raised to keep the cows warmer. Not only does this technology keep our cows comfortable, but it also works to keep our talented team of employees very comfortable as well. Cow comfort and cow health are top priorities at Kinnard Farms because comfortable, healthy cows produce high-quality milk. Our family believes in always adapting and improving our cow care as new techniques and technologies are discovered through research and innovation. We take great pride in producing a wholesome, natural, nutritious food that builds strong bones in children and provides 9 essential vitamins and minerals for you and your families. Our family is proud to be a part of this community. Everyone at Kinnard Farms still holds true to the same core values set by our parents, grandparents, and indeed our great-grandparents. We remain focused on cow comfort, stewardship of the land, caring for our employees,